Hello, Mary, thanks.
I heard somebody say, is that Minetta I'm hearing? I thought I heard your dulcet tones, Annetta.
Yeah.
How are you?
I am here.
Good. You can see draft training, draft for the System for Success training on this one. Right, if you could possibly do a wee bit of housekeeping and maybe just for it's only be a short training, and then you can have a chat about it. But if you could just pop our mics off for now, just so there's not any background noise, because I'm old and it distracts me. And if you could refrain from using the chat, just until we're finished, because again that will distract people. If they're trying to read the chat, it can distract them. Now if you're brand new, don't worry if this means nothing to you and it goes over the top of your head. It will in time. We are in a business where we call it a numbers game. Like, which people normally recognise that as direct sales, but we're not sales, we're networking, but it's still numbers. If we're working with catalogues, we know how many catalogues we need to work with to get X amount of orders. And it's the same with online sales. Like Kate Forbes knew that she would get a ban if she kept doing what she was doing. She knew the numbers. But she pushed her luck because we want to sometimes do more than what the internet allows us to. Fortunately, Facebook is the only one that restricts us, and they don't restrict us well enough to stop us. We just need to pace ourselves out. But it's really important that you know and understand your numbers. And you'll hear about activity planners and trackers. Everybody talks about it throughout your Clean Easy career. And at the moment, my PowerPoint freezes, which it likes to do sometimes when I'm using the Zoom. There we go. Now, this particular tracker is, the reason I'm training on it is because it's no ordinary tracker. Oh, my video's going everywhere. Hang on a wee second. I like to see you guys. I like to watch you, and my videos went down to the bottom of the screen. Right, sorry about this, folks. Technology. If you were there on Saturday, and I know most of the people online didn't manage along because of distance, this was our Falkirk local one, there was a chap there at the training on Saturday called David Pemberton Smith. David Pemberton Smith been in the business, Kate will remind me if I'm wrong, round about 15 to 20 years, I actually can't remember, he has been in the business a long, long time. And David likes to do things a little bit different, and he put together this tracker, planner and activity tracker, and we have been using it ever since because it is absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to go through it with you and hope that you understand how it's going to benefit your business. And also what we recommend is you do this weekly activity planner and tracker with your sponsor. Now, the sponsor is the person who introduced you to the business. Once a week, we'll set our goals and then we see how we go on. So I'm going to go into the next slide, and I'm going to show you how it actually works. Let's go back to the activity tracker. Sorry, my computer doesn't half like to play up as soon as I start to record the Zoom. So what you see here now, down the left-hand side, it is your personal aims. These are just, well, the first lot anyway, are just a guide. So if you don't want to retail with the catalogues, for example, you don't have retail with the catalogues as a target, or you simply put a 0 in. But I would prefer, if you're not wanting to do catalogues, that you would just leave that out. So down the left-hand side are the activities that you're planning on doing for that week. So if it's retail with the catalogues, we always teach to aim for 250 minimum a week, and that can be easily achieved with the catalogues, but it's your aim and it's what you want. And this is where this activity tracker really works, because you're doing this alongside your sponsor who knows the business inside out and who can guide you, let you know exactly what you have to do to achieve whatever it is that you are looking for. So that's step one. You'll hear a lot of trainings when I start to train about, say for instance on Saturday, it was about persistence. and it ends up about being goals, because the goal is where it all starts. So we need to know exactly what you want so we can help you to fill out this activity tracker. So if you're just looking for £200 or £300 a month, then you probably don't even need to do the activity tracker. If you're looking for £2,000 or £3,000 upwards, and many of you know the incomes that's available in the business, then I would recommend you do this tracker, you do it diligently, and you get to know and understand the numbers. That's the most important part. It's called quantifying your numbers and understanding them. So what you would do is down the left hand side, you would put your aim, let's say £1,000 for the catalogues and £1,000 online. I like to aim quite high, and that does sound high, but people on my team who start out aiming for that usually get quite close to achieving it. Warm market. Now, what is warm market? If you're brand new, warm market is people that you know that you're going to speak to about the business. How many people that you know are you going to speak to on a daily basis to about the business? Now, that might just be a little excuse the unusual approach email that you send them through Facebook. It doesn't have to be verbal these days. In my day, lots of phones, lots of verbal. Now we've got the internet, and we can approach people in so many different ways. My recommendation is to speak to a few people every single day. My business went from 0 to £1 million turnover in 12 months, and I just spoke to everybody who had a pulse. If you got a pulse, then you might know somebody who'd be interested in making money part-time from home. So that's my wee tip there. And what I've put here is I've updated this now because there's different types of internet ads. There's people who are doing product posts. So how many product posts are you wanting to do every single day? Well, you want to have at least 10 products or half a dozen to 10 in your own shop. And you want to do at least 60 groups with 2 products. That's the minimum that we're recommending. So I would recommend that if you've never done the activity tracker before, start with the minimum. We know that you need 300 or 400 books in a week, for example, in these early stages to get that £1,000 for catalogue sales. And we know that you need to post at least a couple of products every single day onto 60 groups using discussion posts, and then back it up. So what we do is you fill in. If it was me, I would have my internet ads for the products, my internet ads for the business, and I would also have marketplace posts on there as well. So you just basically decide what your activities are. In the next box, you've got lead inquiries, info sent, follow-ups. The phone follow-up has now been deleted and it just says follow-up. Presentation, because some people like to do a presentation, and new distributors. So how many new distributors would you like on a weekly basis? Now, hopefully, everybody's got to put at least one. And I don't want to shock the new people, but if you're looking to bring one new person in every single week, then you're looking to generate 50 inquiries a week. So this is where you learn by chatting to your sponsor on your own goal, your own aim. You will start to learn the numbers and exactly what you have to do to achieve your goals. And down the bottom, it's about the meetings and the trainings. You've got your groups webinars. I've put them together. How many webinars are you going to tune into this week? How many meetings? Is there a local meeting? Get your team along to the meeting. How many meetings, how many webinars can you get your team to? Contact your sponsor at least once a week to do this activity tracker. But if somebody's new, example Stephen, pick on Stephen, you'll be wanting to contact your sponsor at least 7 times in there. Every single day you're going to be chatting to your sponsor in the early stages while you're getting that group up and running. So once you've filled out your weekly aim, as I say, until you know the numbers, just follow what is recommended in the system, and you're going to be doing this with Kate. And if it's and your sponsor, if you're new, if Kate's not your sponsor, you probably still be doing it with Kate and your sponsor, because Kate's I was going to say the oldest in the business, but it was a slip of the tongue, Kate. It was the longest in the business. I'm the oldest, I'll win that one. So what you want to do is you want to record every single day what you've achieved. So if you've put 120 Facebook posts and you've not done 120, you put what you've done, 100, 50, 80, 200. You can go over as well. But at the end of the week, and this is the part, this tiny wee bit, the scoring part of it, that makes this tracker stand out for all the rest. It's phenomenal. You're aiming to get 100%. So every week, remember your goals, your targets, not ours, but you want to get 100% of what you've aimed for. So it starts like this. Let's say you said that you wanted to retail £1,000 with the catalogues. At the end of the week, you put your total in, and then with your sponsor, you'll score it. So if somebody does £1,000 in retail and they achieve it, we're going to give them 5 points. Retail online, let's say your target was 1,000 and you did 800. Now, if you were new, I would give you 4 points. If you've been in the business a bit longer, if you fall short of your targets, I reduce the points I give you, because as we get more experienced in the business, we know what we have to do to hit our targets. So the idea is just to go through this with your sponsor. Retail online, this is what I aimed for, this is what I achieved. I planned on speaking to 5 people every single day, send 5 emails or Facebook messages to my friends, and I spoke to all 5 of them, so there's another 5 points. But let's say that you spoke to 5 in a week, and you planned on getting 5 in a day, then you're only going to get a point. But let's say that you planned on speaking to 35 in a week and you spoke to 34. How many points do you think you would get? Initially, you might think, well, that's only one away from the target. I should get quite a high score. Well, David, who put this together, would score you 1. If you only miss your target by a few, then plummets your score, because it means that you're not focused and you're not aiming. How hard would it have been to speak to 1 more person to hit your target? So this is how we learn the numbers. It's absolutely brilliant. So at the end of the week, when you review this with your sponsor, we go through this. As I say, you're trying to get 100% every single week. Now, the great thing is, it's not on the results of the business. It's on you making a plan and sticking to it. This is how it absolutely works. So, for example, if you put 0 business cards, I'm not going to give anybody a business card this week, and you put 0, you'll get 5 points, because you've made that plan and you're sticking to it. Now, obviously, we don't want you to put 0 in all the boxes to get 100%. That's not how it works, you know. But you want to institute change if need be. Now, I've been doing this with Heather, and this is fantastic, by the way, because first of all, we recommend that we aim for 50 leads a week. And in week 2, doing the planner, Heather has hit 50 on the dot, Kate. It's hard to believe that. It's so spooky how the figures work out. But what actually happens here, what this teaches you, as I say, the object is to make a plan and stick to it. It helps you to understand the numbers and the conversions, because if you're tracking this every single week, you will start to see this amount of activity gives me this amount of sales, or this amount of activity gives me this amount of leads. Just like I said with Heather, it's bang on 50, what she was aiming for. And what also happens is it lets you see the compound effect. Now, what the compound effect is for the new people is, if you post 50 products today on Facebook, you've got 50 product ads out there. But by the end of the week, if you're posting 50 every single day, by the end of the week, you've got I'm not very good with maths, is it 350 posts by the end of the week, which is in a 28-day period, that's 2,350, 700, no, 1,400 posts. So the more you post just 50 a day, the time you get 28 days time, you're going to have 1,400 posts out there. So that's the compound effect. So what happens with the compound effect is you, for the same activities, you'll get more results. So if you keep on doing that every single day, you'll see these activities grow and then they'll plateau. So that there is a certain, so if you're putting 200 or 300 books out every single week, your sales will grow and grow, and then they'll get to a limit about probably between £5 and £10 a book. So it's exactly the same with other activities. So I love this because it shows you what the compound effect. Now the compound effect is this is straight for the book, it's not my language, it's an extraordinary operating system that shows you how small, smart choices, which is our daily activities, plus consistency, a daily basis, over a period of time equals results. And that is what this tracker will show you. And again, anybody that knows me know I like a guy called Jim Rohn. And what Jim Rohn says is success is a few simple disciplines practiced daily, accumulated over a period of time. Now, what happens sometimes if we don't have it down on paper, we don't do the activity. If you're posting away and you're not counting or taking a note of it, it is very difficult to advance in the business. If you're taking a note of it and seeing what the results are, then you know exactly what you have to do to get to exactly where you want to be. And I'm hoping that this makes sense. But reaching your goals is achieved by the daily effort you put in, not some massive, wonderful things. The top earners in Queenies are not wonderful people, they'll be trying to think it we are. They're just normal people. They're just doing the daily efforts on a consistent basis, and that's all you have to do. It's not some magic formula or some new miracle product. We see it on Facebook all the time, an undiscovered internet business that doesn't work. It's the daily activities. If you just stick to these daily activities, and every big success is made up of lots of little successes, so over a period of time. So that is how quick that training is. It's very short. I'm just going to stop the share and then we'll go have a chat about it. And I'll just stop the recording. Stop recording.